What is up, guys? Dr. Sophia here, and I am back with another video. If you are new, then don't forget to subscribe and go ahead and hit that notification bell so that you can stay updated on all of my content. And also do not forget to check the description box because I always put a lot of stuff in there, stuff that I mentioned in the video, and also all of my products and my store, which you can shop down below, which you may want to do because what we are talking about is radical acceptance. I know that you are like, what in the world is radical acceptance? Why do I need it? What am I talking about? But honestly speaking, if you master the art of radical acceptance, then you will master the art of your life. So let's go ahead into getting into what is radical acceptance in the first place. So here is a definition of radical acceptance that I'm going to go ahead and read. Radical acceptance means that you have to stop fighting with reality and throwing fits about what has happened. You have decided to acknowledge and accept it instead. Once you do this, you may feel an intense sadness because you have now given up on all hopes for a better past or a better outcome currently. At the same time, you may feel a great sense of relief now that you can finally let go of the fight over what should have been and deal more effectively with what is in front of you as it is. So I know that can be a complicated definition. So let's go into what radical acceptance is and what radical acceptance is not. So what radical acceptance is not is accepting reality as is and doing nothing about it. What I mean by that is if you are in a life that you hate, you have a bad job, you're not getting paid well enough, you don't like the place that you live, all these other complaints in your life, radical acceptance means accepting that this is the current situation that you are in, but it does not mean that you feel like this is the situation that you are always going to be in. Because the do of radical acceptance means that once you start to accept reality, that means that you can start to deal with it. Where people go wrong is that they often don't want to accept reality. They often want to have on rose-colored glasses and make up their own alternative version of what reality is just because it sounds nice. I want to blame my bad decisions on somebody else because I don't want to take personal responsibility for what I have done. I want to pretend that this guy is somebody else other than what he have shown me because I want a boyfriend and I don't want to believe that he's a narcissist and is probably using me for sex. I want to believe that life has handed me a raw deal and that I am helpless on what to do about life and there is absolutely nothing that I can do about it. All of these things are denial of reality, and what denial of reality does is it keeps us stuck. A lot of people get on me because I am straightforward, but what I have learned is that I have learned to radically accept reality. And once you see things for what they are, see people for what they are, and see situations for what they are, that is when you will start to understand what is in my control that I can change about my current reality. What decisions have I made about my current reality that have contributed to my current situation? And what can I do to make it different, right? So I'm going to get into what this really means for you, because what all this is important for you. What does this mean for you? How can it apply to your life? You have to think about the current situation on where you are now. Good, the bad, the ugly. Are you a single mother? I know that I'm a single mother, right? Are you a single mother of multiple kids? Are you, currently having unprotected sex where you can possibly be another single mother of another kid? Are you, if you want to complain about your life circumstances, or let's say even your income, are you doing something to make your income better? Are you overspending? What radical acceptance means for normal people is objectively, meaning not insert what you want your situation to be or what you want your life to be, but rather looking at what the situation is for what it is, how you may have contributed to that situation, how you may have let other people in your life contribute to the situation that you're in, the bad decisions that you may have made. And once you come to that, then you can understand what now is it that I can do in order to change that. So let's say in normal people terms, this will be the opposite of radical acceptance. Let's say I am a single mom of a 7-year-old boy and his child's father is a deadbeat father, and I have to work 2 jobs in order to make ends meet. Here's what a lot of people will do. This is what you don't want to do. Oh, my baby daddy, he, tries his best, even though he may have not seen the child in like 4 or 5 years. Oh, I'm going to keep sleeping with him because, one day we're going to end up together, even though the baby daddy has probably told you that he don't want to be with you, don't want to marry you, and he's probably seeing somebody else. Oh, I hate my life and I hate my jobs, but there's nothing that I can do about it. When in reality, there's a whole lot that you can do about it. You can go back to school. Yes, that might be harder with you doing that as a single mom, but that's still an option, right? So understand that refusing to accept reality is that we make up our own narratives. And then what we then will do, let's say in that situation, because she doesn't want to, realize the truth about her child's father, she will continue to sleep with her child's father, thinking one day he's going to be with her, which is probably not true. Try to make him be a father, which he's a bad father, and she's going to frustrate herself in the process because guess what? What do I always say on my channel? You can only control yourself and you cannot control anybody else. Your job is to, once you see situations and people for who and what they are, you believe them and then you operate in what you see, which is going to bring me to my last point. How can you move forward once you have radically accepted your situation? Because what we don't want, radical acceptance is not to get you depressed, right? I have counseled many people, even many other single mothers that may have had multiple children by multiple different men. I'm not throwing shade or saying anything about anybody. I'm just saying the reality of the situation. What radical acceptance, when they start realizing radical acceptance, they will start to say, you know what? I did make bad decisions in sleeping with those men when I know that they weren't right for me, sleeping with them unprotected, and now I am left with more children. Does that negotiate the fact that they're still deadbeat fathers and they should be taking care of their children? No, it doesn't. Yes, they should be taking care of their children. But the fact of the matter is that what they're doing has nothing to do with you. You just have to accept, not like what they're doing, but you accept it because that is the reality. And then you say, how can I move forward from what the reality is giving me, right? So the first thing is an affirmation that you can say to yourself that will help you understand on not only how to radically accept your situation, but also understand how you can move forward. So you have to say to yourself, right here is where I am supposed to be. Where I am now is the result of a million other decisions. Thinking of the past just robs me of the present. What I do in this moment is all that I have control over. Every event in my life has brought me to now. The present moment is perfect, even if I don't like it. I'm going to put my video down below on how to glory in your sufferings because what a lot of people have issue with is that they seem to think that, oh, just because everything is not how I want, or life is not perfect, then this must means that I don't need to be in that moment. But as I always have learned is that when whatever bad situation that I have had to crawl myself out of, that has brought me resilience. And resilience is not a bad word. Resilience is the ability to positively adapt to a situation. You do that by accepting your situation and then implementing steps on how to adapt to it. So let me use myself as an example on how we radically accept, because I'm a single mom, so we'll go through this so that you can see what I mean. As you guys know, my son is 13. When I got pregnant with my son, the child's father bounced. He did not want to have anything to do with my son. I radically accepted that. I told him, okay, cool. Why don't you sign over your rights and I could just go about my day with me and my son? Never once did I try to force, make, or chase. At first, it was like I gave him the opportunity, but once the opportunity was that he was not taking me up on that opportunity, you accept it. Don't try to change his mind. Don't try to make, don't try to force, because you can't do that. Therefore, I said to myself, since I am going to be a mother, how can I get a better job? How can I get a higher paying job? And how can I get a job in where I can work less? And then guess what I said to myself? I can go to school. I can start applying for jobs. And that's exactly what I did. So now, at the time when I was pregnant with my son, I had a bachelor's degree. I went on and got 2 additional degrees on top of that. 2 months after I had my son, I started a different job making up my own hours, because these are the things that I can control. I accepted the situation and I move within the parameters of my situation to make the situation better for myself. Never once did I say to myself that I need to go make my child's father be something that he simply don't want to be after he has told me that. It doesn't make what he did right, but it makes me not be in a situation where I am chasing, forcing, and trying to make him be something that he has already told me that he doesn't want to be. Now, as you guys know, and I'm going to link in the store, if you go in the description box, you can buy my single mom's book. You know, as you guys know, shortly after I had my son's father was incarcerated and all this other drama ensued, right? A lot of people would have fell apart during that situation. But what do I always say? Control what you can control. I accepted the situation for what it was. Yes, it was an upsetting situation with all the things that he was doing, you know, with him being a sperm donor. Everything that he was doing in my life was upsetting. And y'all can watch some of my other videos between that, because there was a lot of things that he did to make my life a living hell. But in the same token, I never allowed it to stop my path, because what I understand with radical acceptance is you have to determine, what do I give my attention to? Who do I give my attention to? And what do I need to take my attention away from so that I can focus on changing my reality, right? We don't give our attention to friends, people, things, and situations that take us away from transforming our reality to what we want it to be. And if we do that, then we also take personal responsibility that we have decided to let this person in. And if they jack up our day, we take personal responsibility from that. And even from there, we still determine, how can I try to change to make my life better? What can I do to change to make my reality, by accepting the reality as it is, not through rose-colored glasses, different? And I promise you, once you understand the concept of radical acceptance, accepting your reality and doing what you can do in order to change your reality, knowing that your reality is good, bad, and indifferent, and accepting it as is without judging it, then that is when you really start to make strides in your life. All right, guys. All right. Don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to share if you care, if you liked it. And I will talk to you guys another day, another time. Bye, y'all. Not ready for the show to end? It doesn't have to. You can head over to my site where you can read hundreds of articles. And also you can feel free to shop my store where I have all of my products for sale. And last but not least, for even more video content, feel free to visit my YouTube channel where I talk about a wide array of content. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. And until next time, stay blessed.